Well, I want to pick up on that diversity theme. So how do we change the narrative in the Valley to encourage over whatever period, but change the narrative about diversity so that folks understand how important that is?
Well, you know, it starts with the VC firms, right? Because what's interesting is that, I mean, you think about how boards of companies reflect the investors. And those companies that give you the money, they get a board seat. And we were the longest time all white male dominated. And so I think it starts with understanding the diversity is a fundamental tenet of innovation, and at the
I want to stop you there because I want you to explain that, unpack that a little bit. To you that's second nature, and the rest. But you and I have talked about this in the past, and I'd love for you to just explain what you mean by diversity being a central tenet.
Well, I think there's an element of like math, combinatorial math that sort of supports that, where you just got a lot of different inputs. I mean, I think for me it gets very personal. I've been part of a lot of different design teams in my career. And I can tell you, I know of students that grew up with not much money. They think about problem solving differently than a student that grew up with a lot of money. And I see it, and I don't want to be too stereotypical, but you see that everyone brings their experiences to the design table, metaphorically. And if you're trying to maximize inputs and perspectives, it was really interesting. Early in my career, I went to I was part of a creation committee at a large chemical company in Europe. And I was in the 1990s. And I was the external guy. Flew in, walked into a room, pretty classic sterile boardroom. Not only was it all white guys around the table, but they all graduated from the same 3 research groups. They all knew exactly the same stuff. And they were abuzz and they were resonating, a lot of activity and energy, but all around 1 or 2 topics. And I was coming in from the outside, and I thought, boy, I've never felt more like an outsider.
Right.
And I understood right then and there that they were at a structural disadvantage to be the innovation committee. You have to engineer your community in order to maximize that perspectives. And so to me, it's at that level of granularity that I found it to be a secret sauce of the things that we've done over my career.
Yeah.